Alright guys, I'm going to be calling this video the heart and soul. I'm going to be talking about the 3/4 main components when starting a project like this. So the most important parts you're going to have are the slide, frame, grip, not so much, but that still is a part. That's a big part of the selecting process. Not the safety and the beaver tail, I'm just taking these off. And the barrel. So it's mostly slide frame barrel. The barrel to slide frame is really important. The slide to frame fit is also really important. This affects the accuracy and stuff. You want them all to be coherent, and you all want them all to be tested independent of each other before even thinking about putting a grip on there, because the grip is like one of the last things you put on there. And then once you got those on, that's when you're gonna start matching up all of these parts and installing everything else like that. And then compensators, that's a whole nother video. But yeah, so I thought that I was having problems with my magazines. I was just having problems with my feeding because of the feed angle and everything of the standard ramp. But we fixed that, as you can see. As you can see, we fixed it. Took some doing, but I did it. And yeah, I think this thing will feed reliably. But back to the topic at hand. Frame to slide fit is very important. It works on the accuracy. If you want it to be really tight, you could always, measure twice, cut once. That's always pretty important when you're trying to do a project like this. I like mine with a little bit of wobble. It increases the reliability just a little bit more for me. Plus, I had this cut for a different barrel and stuff, so that kind of plays a factor. And then the barrel to slide frame, that's always really important. And yes, it has that little gap right there, but that's for a round indicator, I believe. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that there. But yeah, you always want to make sure that you're getting proper engagement on the locking lugs. As you can see, I'm getting engagement right there because it's rubbing off. And I am going to get another one of these just to properly fit it and everything because they're so cheap. But yeah, this has been fitting pretty nice. And also, you want to make sure that you have proper engagement on the lugs. The lugs at the bottom right here, make sure that's properly fitting in the frame, sliding it out. Make sure you got a good lock up right there too, as well as the link pin. This one's staked, so I can't change it. I don't want to change it because it fits fine. But make sure you got the right height on the frame so that it's not rubbing the bottom right here. This radius is okay. Make sure your feed ramp is all right. Make sure the sides of your lugs and everything right here, the breech face and all of that is okay. Not getting too much contact with this. Make sure that it's locking up, able to go in and out of contact, no problems. And then that's when you introduce the slide lock. You put that in the frame, line up the pins and everything, make sure that's working fine, going in and out of battery properly. And then if everything checks out and you do the safety test and all of that, that's when you can start installing your parts and start test firing and all of that. The frame, only comes into effect if it's not fitting properly, like this one isn't, because I had to take so much material off of right there and right there, a little bit off right there, because this frame was slightly out of spec. But I'll accept that little gap, it's whatever. As long as I don't have a gap down here, it should be fine. Fitting also comes because this is polymer. If you have to use a metal one, that'll definitely come into effect, because then you have to shave down some metal. I'm not shaving this one at all because this one should just fit off the top, off the back. I do have to fit the trigger, but that's more fitting the trigger to the grip, not to the whole gun. I shouldn't have a problem with that though, just because I've fitted before, and my mistake last time was taking material off of the inside of the trigger track, but I should just have to modify the trigger. You don't want to modify your $200 grip, you want to modify your $50 trigger. You can always buy another trigger easier than you can buy a $200 grip, just saying. Keep that in mind, guys. But yeah, those are the 3 main components, maybe 4 if you include the grip, but these are literally the bread and butter. This is where the explosion happens. This contains the explosion, and this all controls your fit and finish of the firearm and how it functions and how effectively it'll function and reliably. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you start a project like this. If this video was informative to you, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it with somebody that might be helpful. All right, guys, peace.